Hello guys, Rosingham and Kunshin here, back with another chapter of Rise of the Draken, Chapter 3, Possessive and Jealousy. Harry had to admit that Blaze's clothes were so much more comfortable than anything he had ever worn before. He loved the tight dark blue jeans and the navy blue sweater. They fit him so perfectly, and he deducted that he had been a fool to argue with Blaze about what he was wearing, though. He wasn't going to tell Blaze that. Harry was all for sneaking out of the Slytherin dormitory under a cloak, but Blaze would hear nothing of the sort. They walked out to the breakfast together, in full view of the other Slytherins, who glared at him as he walked through the common room under the heavy and protective arms of Blaze. The girls in particular were very vicious in their hated glares, and Harry felt not only uncertainty but an ephemeral spike of possessiveness. Blaze was his dominant mate. They couldn't have him, and he would strip the flesh of their bones if they tried anything to get Blaze away from him. The sense of his possessiveness frightened him. He had next to nothing to ever be possessive of. He had nothing grown up as a child, no toy or game that was very strictly his. Hell, even his clothes weren't his. The only possession he owned that he felt remotely possessive over was his invisibility cloak, the Matter's map, and his firebolt. And those were all for sentiment reason. The cloak had been his father, the map has been his father's, Sirius and Remus. The firebolt was been given to by his godfather, his dead godfather. But those three things paled in the possession he felt for Blaze. He would slice up anyone who dared to try to steal his mate from him, which confirmed what the book he had read had told him about submissive dragons. The book had started the submissive dragons would fight for their dominant mate, but Harry would fight for whatever last breath in his body for Blaze. "Don't worry, Bello," Blaze muttered to him. "These pathetic human girls hold no comparison to your stunning beauty. They are glaring because they are jealous of your flawless futures. I think they're jealous of me for having you, actually," Harry answered. "They want you, not me." "Well, they will have to remain jealous. That as they will never have me." "I don't understand. You could have one of them if you wanted to. Hell, you could have them all. The book said there was no reputation for a dominant dragon to take humans." Blaze chuckled deeply, and the arm around Harry's shoulder squeezed him gently. "Ah, Harry, how adorable you are. You should not believe everything that you read about our kind in a book. Most of the information is either muddled or downright wrong. True, there are no reputations for a dominant male to have a human, but a dominant will always want a submissive dragon over any human. Subjects are becoming less and less common, Prezzo. Dominant dragons still outnumber the submissive by approximately 20 dominants to one single submissive. We would not go with a human through choice." Suddenly, Harry understood a whole lot better, and he felt secured enough to even glare back at the girls sneering at him, much to Blaze's amusement. When they reached the great hall, Harry veered off towards the Gryffindor table, till a hand gripped his arm, stopping him. Blaze raised a single brow and began tugging him towards the Slytherin table. "I don't want to sit at the Slytherin table," Harry argued, failing to break Blaze's fingers from his grip. "Blaze! You will sit with me," Blaze told him. "You will not be out of my sight or out of my reach. Just as ridiculous as Harry is, I'm only be across the table." Blaze sat down and pulled Harry down next to him. He did not let go of his arm. "Eat your breakfast," Blaze ordered. Harry glared at him poisonously. "Harry, eat your breakfast." "What if I don't? You're not going to force me to do that as well?" Blaze asked Harry strangely, but Harry didn't care. His bared teeth and primal show of defense. Blaze cuffed the back of his head hard and winced. Harry winced. every ounce of defense leaving his body at once. He huddled down in his borrowed jumper, curled in on himself as much as possible on the bench. He didn't like being punished by his dominant, but it all felt like it was happening too fast. 3 months since becoming a draken, he already had a mane. Blaze had said that books didn't all have all the answers. The answers they did have were either wrong or partly truth. The much he knew about his own species would have filled an egg cup, probably half an egg cup. And most of everything he did was wrong. He felt like he was losing himself. He was not a dormant. He would not grovel or crawl around after Blaze on his knees. He was not a weak person. He had relied on himself for so long. He had practically raised himself, had fended for himself. Yet now his instincts were forcing him to forget all of that and rely on Blaze for everything. He didn't need anyone to protect him. He had been doing this fine on his own. That was even before he got on razor-sharp fangs and elastic claws. It wasn't like he had defenseless or incapable of protecting himself. A pair of lips nestled his cheek, had Harry melted into Blaze's embrace. Deep what felt like the entire world watching him. Despite what felt like the entire world was watching them, he wanted to remain angry at Blaze. He wanted to defy him, show that he was not weak, pathetic little creature to be kicked around. But he couldn't bring himself to hold out his anger at Blaze. And after he had hit him, he had humiliated him in front of the entire school. Just eat something, my old prezzo, Blaze whispered to him. Harry found himself filling his plate before he had really registered what Blaze had said. With this some sort of power dominance, dragons had over their submissive. Could a dominant force a submissive to do what they wanted, or was Harry just fed up of fighting? Was he really so desperate for any sort of love and affection that he would cave in to any and all of Blaze's demands? He had admitted, though, that having Blaze's large warm hand rubbing gently at his lower back was much better than receiving a cuff around the head for the same hand. But he couldn't think like that. He would not lose his personality just for an easier life. Blaze would just have to get used to the cursing and not having his own way all the time. Okay, I'm going to stop reading here. I know it's not the whole chapter 3, but I want you guys to know that I'm back, and we'll be back, and we'll be updating again. But I hope you're happy with this chapter here, and of what I've read for this video. Rosalie and Kujin out.